And welcome to the next in this series of speaker interviews for Memphis AgentCamp 2026. My guest this evening is Mr. Sam Nasr. Sam, how are you doing, my friend?
Great, Doug. How are you?
I'm making it through. So, Sam, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
So I've been a software developer for quite some time. I've been focusing mostly on the Microsoft stack of technologies, and I've been certified with multiple certifications from Microsoft, one of which is the Microsoft Certified Trainer. I also run two user groups out of the Cleveland area, one for Azure and one for C Sharp, and just very active in the community with speaking at conferences, other community events, also big on mentoring others. So very heavily involved and been focusing on AI, I would say for the last 4 or 5 years, back when it was called cognitive services and introduced by Microsoft. And it just caught my eye and I've just been hooked on it ever since. And like I always tell people, not only did I drink the Microsoft punch, I overdosed on it. So I'm constantly absorbing everything that they're coming out with. And a couple years ago, I got pulled into Copilot and loved it. I love the fact that you can actually create your own custom Copilot. I thought that was very interesting.
And there's a lot to absorb coming out of Microsoft right now. And speaking of the Copilot, that's what you're going to be talking to us about on March 16th. Your talk is entitled Build Your Own Copilot. So, why don't you give us a taste of that?
So it's about building your own custom Copilot. And the advantage of that is that you can tailor it to use your own custom data. You can have it so that it has a deeper control over the user experience, meaning you can customize how the answers are going to be structured, the attitude, if you will, of the chatbot as it's answering questions. You can focus the responses on custom instructions that you give it, and more specifically on your own custom data. So you don't necessarily need to make your data available on the World Wide Web, but rather you can contain everything behind the firewall or contain it within Copilot so that way it can be trained on your own custom data, provided without to the world.
So, how is that any different from, say, RAG, retrieval augmented generation?
So basically, it's similar, but it's different in the sense that now that you have a chatbot, you can customize the experience as to how you want the chatbot to reply to you, i.e., the Copilot. And again, I'm training it on my own custom data. I'm giving it specific instructions on how to react, and it helps to focus the responses on the custom instructions that I give it. And it's much more of a tailored experience. And again, this allows me to do it on my own data without sharing it with the rest of the world. It's also great for a more specialized customer experience as how do I want to treat my customers, meaning do I want a chatbot to be comical and friendly, or do I want it to point, answer questions in 2 sentences or less? So the whole thing is customizable while keeping my own data private.
Now, in the talk, you're saying that you can create custom experiences using natural language or graphical interfaces. So, is this something that both the so called pro code as well as the low code and no code folks can take advantage of?
Absolutely. So in my demo, basically, I'm not using any code. It's basically configuring the data and where the chatbot's going to be seeking that data. And it's just a plug and go and no code that's utilized for that. Now I can take it a step further if I want. I essentially what I'm doing is I am building an API that's going to be accessible on the AI Foundry. And so I could take that API and call it from any other app that I create, but that's assuming that I want to use that code. However, if I go the no code route, I can just simply deploy it out to Azure from the Foundry and be able to have a web app that's usable on the spot.
So, I guess what you're saying is not only this is not solely pro code, not solely low code. There's a way that the two can collaborate.
Correct.
Okay, interesting. So, why don't you tell me what? How are you using these custom copilots right now?
So one of the greatest selling points is I go into a customer and I show them they have their own spec sheets about all their various product line. And some spec sheets are 15 to 20 pages. And then my challenge is, okay, can you tell me which model has a LCD color display from your product line? Well, let me sift through the catalog and I can tell you which ones have it. Okay, very good. Can you tell me which model has a 6-inch color display versus a 4-inch color display? And unless they're intimately knowledgeable with their entire product line, they would essentially have to read through all these documents. By inserting or uploading these documents into Copilot, essentially it does that search for them. And basically what I did was just ask a question, show me all the models that have a 4-inch LCD display, and immediately it pops up a list. Compare model X with model Y and tell me what the differences are, and immediately it pops up with the answer. So it's great for obtaining the knowledge that you already have. Let me rephrase it. It's great for obtaining information from the data that you already have.
Okay, that sounds like it's going to be a great talk and something that's very timely as well. Want to remind everybody that Agent Camp Memphis is coming up on March 16th, 2026, starting at 9 a.m. Central Time. It is free, it is virtual, and if you go to this shortened link right here, you'll be able to RSVP, and I'll be able to keep you up to date with details of the event as it approaches. So, Sam, if folks want to contact you, they can find all of your various links at your link tree, right?
Absolutely. Not only do I encourage you to get in touch with me, but also if you need help launching a proof of concept, working on a specific AI project that you're getting stuck on, please feel free to reach out to me.
Okay, so Sam, any closing thoughts you want to leave us with this evening?
So first of all, I applaud you, Doug, for putting on the Memphis Agent Camp. It has 4 separate tracks, free of charge, virtual. It's a great training opportunity, and it's also a great networking opportunity to network with all the speakers that are out there and get to know them and see what type of content they are talking about. But more specifically, I encourage you to register for the one at 4 o'clock, which is the Build Your Own Copilot. I look forward to seeing you all there.
All right, that sounds great. Sam, thanks for spending some time with me this evening, and we'll see you on March 16th.
Pleasure is mine, Doug. Thank you.
Thank you.